And welcome back to another Econ Podcast with Mr. Hagan. On this Econ Podcast, we're going to continue to talk about investing. Before we do, I just want to remind all viewers that this video is not designed to be investment advice. Its purpose is educational only. This video and other videos in this playlist are designed to teach about different theories of investing. If you want investment advice, please see a professional. Okay, so what I want to do on this video is I want to continue talking about the different type of patterns that the castle in the air people that they would attempt to identify. So remember, I'm using the term castle in the air. Some people would call these guys the greater fool theorists. Some would say they're doing technical analysis. Sometimes these guys are called chartists. So on the previous video, I talked about one pattern that would be a head and shoulders pattern. I gave an example of a head and shoulders pattern where the neckline was not flat. And then I gave another example of an inverted head and shoulders, where the head and shoulders is going down instead of up. What I now want to look at is a double bottom. So here's a great example of a double bottom, and this is actually a real double bottom that occurred. And so this is, I'll put some dates on this. This was somewhere around, I'm going to say, probably somewhere around 9/15. 2015, September 2015. And this is somewhere around February of 2016. And I don't remember, this is somewhere in like 2017, 2018. I'll call it 2018. Doesn't really matter. What matters here is the concept right now is that we are measuring, again, time on the horizontal axis. We are doing price on the vertical axis. We're doing price on the vertical axis, and I got this data from Yahoo Finance. Now, here's what a double bottom looks like, and it's exactly what it sounds like. A double bottom is when the market comes down, hits a bottom, rallies back up to the previous high, but then the rally stalls, and the market comes back down again and hits a double bottom. Okay, so we had some stock market level right here, and we're going along at that level. The market goes down and hits a first bottom. Then the market rallies back up to that old high, but doesn't really get past it. The rally stalls, and the market comes back down, and right there is where you get your double bottom. And so the argument would be that that's where you buy. You buy on the double bottom. You buy in the double bottom. And again, the argument here that these guys would make, the argument is that you see this pattern in the market. You see this pattern when you look into the past. And when you get a double bottom, then the market will tend to rally to new highs, which is what we saw happen here. This share price rallied to new highs. So that's the idea of a double bottom. Some people would argue, some of these guys would argue, it depends, that you would not buy until right here. You would wait until you pierce the upper trend line, and then you would make the purchase. Others would argue, no, you buy on the second bottom, because of course then you'll make more money. You're buying down here to lower price and rallying to a new all-time record high. So again, double bottom. Market goes down, hits a bottom, rallies, but the rally stalls, comes back down, hits another bottom. That's your buy, and then the market begins to rally. So that's just this double bottom is just another type of pattern that these chartists will talk about. And if you go online, you could just do a Google search. You can find a lot of these different types of patterns that these guys claim to have identified. Again, I don't want to, two caveats to this. First of all, we have to remember that this is a theory of investing. Okay, this stuff like a double bottom. Firm foundationalists would say, they're not buying this. They might even go so far as to say, sorry about that, they might even go so far as to say this is nonsense. Okay, you got to do real analysis of P ratios and PD multiples and all that kind of stuff. So, again, I'm just saying clearly, this doesn't mean that this is what you should go follow. Okay, this is just another theory of how to invest, another theory on how to invest. The other thing that we have to remember is I'm looking at the whole graph at once. We're looking into the past. But if we were following this in real time, we'd be following this share price in real time. We don't know that it's going to go to new all-time record highs. If this is where the market actually is, if you were actually there in September 2015, you didn't know the market went down to here. You didn't know it was going to be a double bottom. You didn't know that ahead of time. You were watching the market rally up, and then the market started going back down. Then you would say, oh, maybe it's going to be a double bottom. And then it comes back down, and then you say, oh, yeah, okay, I'm going to make a purchase. And then in this case, it did work out, and the market did go to new highs. So we just have to keep that in mind. Hindsight's always 2020. It's a lot harder trying to look into the future. All right, this has been Mr. Hagan on another Econ podcast. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you on the next Econ podcast.